Hi everyone. Today I'm going to read about the story Clara, Barton and her work with those in need. The day was hot and steamy and Clara looked around for a cup of water for her patient. All of her patients needed more water than usual today, and it was scarce to begin with. Clara called to another nurse on the field. "Have you seen the man from supplies?" "No, Clara, they haven't arrived. I will call you when I see them." Clara nodded and wiped her brow. Everyone had been working very hard. Clara had always loved caring for the sick, and she did it well. But sometimes, when supplies like medicine and bandages were in short supply, her job was very difficult. How was Clara to care for those who needed her if she did not have the goods she needed? Clara walked down the row of soldiers, felt their foreheads, and looked at their wounds. Once in a while, one of her patients would call out her name joyfully when they saw her coming. She was well loved. Clara not only helped the men get well, but she sang to them and told them stories as well. She loved to tell them about her life when she was a little girl, like the time she was caught bandaging her pet's legs and feeding her dolls medicine. Clara had always wanted to be a nurse, and now she was. She loved to serve others, to care for them, and make them well again. But she was quickly discovering that in order to really help, she needed supplies. All at once she heard her friend calling, "Clara, come quickly, the supplies have come." Clara quickly ran to the end of the tent that had been made into a hospital. "Thank you for coming." Clara looked over the box of goods that the man from the hospital in town brought her. There were medicines of all kinds, bandages, and thankfully bottles of cool, fresh water. Clara looked at the man who was carrying these goods into the tent. As he walked, he rubbed his back as though in pain. Concerned, Clara asked him, "What is the matter, friend? Are you in pain?" The man looked up at her gratefully. "It is my back, dear lady. I don't wish to speak of it, as I see the men here need more care from you than I." "Nonsense!" Clara scolded the man. "Come, let me take a look. Perhaps this is something we may do for you." Clara motioned the man into the tent. Inside, she looked him over and found that he had developed a wound that had not healed properly. She cleaned the wound and put a strong medicine on it. "This should help, my friend. Please remember to care well for yourself." The man thanked her and hurried away. Days later, the man returned. Clara heard the man in the tent rejoicing and singing, and she rushed in as they called her name. There, before her eyes, was a table set with lovely treats, fresh fruits and juices, and bottles of medicine that had been hard to get. The nurses were running about, giving the sick a taste of the delicious fruits, and Clara cried out to see the joy in their faces. Times had been hard, and even bandages were scarce. Fruits were almost impossible to find, and Clara had not seen these kind of medicines, even though she needed them for months. Clara clapped her hands. "How did these come to be here?" she asked. The man whom she had helped days before stepped out and bowed politely to her. "We have heard far and wide of a kind woman who gives her of herself and asks for nothing in return. You are she. Your care helped me greatly, and so I bring you the goods to care for those others you serve." Clara smiled. And so it was, goods for service, just as she had learned. The end.